is good, guys? Charles from Team COG. I'm going to come at you guys here with a MathMech test hand video. So yeah, we want to shuffle it up here and jump into the first test hand. Remember, guys, if you guys want to help support the channel, hit that join button down below and become a member. Like I said, we're at 16 members. At 20, we're doing an awesome member giveaway. So think about becoming part of a merry band of Crusaders and getting some awesome rewards. Also, guys, if you guys want this beautiful YuGiOh Rising playmat, 2-player cloth playmat, which you can, well, excuse me, this is YuGiOh Rising, the single player, and then get your World Legacy World Heroes 2-player cloth playmat down in the Team COGcompany.site link below. And if you guys want to, you can use code COG5 to save 5% off. Or if you want to check out some of our partners, go down and check out their channels. Link is down there below. You can get up to 10% off by checking out their channel. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just go ahead and shuffle it up here and get into a test hand to show you what MathMech can do. Give a quick cut. Here we go. Let's go ahead and see our first 5 cards. Nabla, Diameter, Addition, Call by the Grave, and Signet Mining. So this is actually really good. I'm actually gonna be able to show you how to play around any hand trap actually with this hand, which is really, really crazy. And we actually have Call by to protect the dang. So Signet Mining, pitching the Nabla. If they have Ash or anything, we do have Call by the Grave. That can protect it, but we're then gonna add ourselves Balancer Lord. And add ourselves Balancer Lord. We'll then normal summon Balancer Lord, get the effect to get the additional normal summon. We then normal summon Diameter, Diameter's effect. We'll special summon Nabla. So if you guys haven't noticed, we have technically been on 1, 2, 3 summons. We'll go here and make our Albertian. Use Albertian's effect on summon, detach 2, and he is now an Omni Negate until the end of the turn to add Super Factorial. Now to see, this is normally where this happens is you have to add, if you have no other extenders in your hand, you have to add Equation, but since we happen to open Addition, we have the ability to play this way. So we have an Omni Negate until the end of our turn. So then you can activate Addition, targeting Balance Lord, summon itself, give it 1,000 attack. It doesn't matter because we're going to link it off into our Link Disciple. You then take Addition. We are locked into Cyverse now, so do keep that in mind. Link Devotee. Link Devotee's effect will trigger, locking us into Link 2 or higher. So like we cannot Link Summon unless we're Link Summoning just Link 1 or Link 2s. We then use Link Disciple's effect, tributing off the Devotee to draw a card. Well, that's pretty good. We'll put back the Call by the Grave. And then Devotee will trigger, summoning out our 2 tokens. We will then link the token and Disciple into Cyverse Wicked Kid. We'll then link the token here off into our Link Revo here. When this is summoned here, we'll trigger the effect of Wicked Kid. We will banish Balancer Lord. And then we'll search ourselves a Nabla. Let me find him. Well, do we? Yeah, it has to be a Nabla. There we go. And then Balance Lord effect will resolve, special summoning the Nabla. We can then, let's see here, tribute summon. Oh no, not yet. Let's see here. We can then, thinking, if we even need to use the Nabla's effect, we could use Nabla to tribute off here, make this, or we can just fire off the coder using the Nabla, but we still need to somehow make, I would like to make IP, so we can fire, we can use Nabla's effect to tribute the Ling, because I feel like I'm just holding on to the Ling to make summon out. Let's see, I can even summon out, doesn't really matter what I really summon. We'll summon out Sigma. Ooh, now wait a second, hold up, I'm seeing it now. Instead of tributing off the Ling, we want to tribute off the Wicked Kid, right? Yeah, if we tribute off Wicked Kid, we can go here. No, because then we have to, okay. Maybe I was wrong, maybe I'm wrong. Very well could be wrong. So we will tribute off a Link to get Sigma. We will then use, we can go here, no, we want to use Microcoder on the Sigma, right. Thinking, guys, this is where like you kind of have to do your play. So if we use this, tribute this, and keep Link Revo, we then can link these two up into IP. Yeah, see, that's not the best play. Okay, so then we'll just use Coder. Well, darn, it has to be this, doesn't it? We have to get rid of that. So summon this if we want to. Yeah, I think that's how we have to do it, actually. Hold up. So instead of getting rid of Wicket, we get rid of Wicket. We then go these two into IP. We then use Microcoder, pitch itself, target the Ling to make inverted. Microcoder's effect will activate, grabbing us sign at conflict. And then we set these two, and we enter the end phase of our turn. Albertian's Albertian's Omnigate goes away, and then now we practically are here in this weird scenario. So during their turn, we want to make sure that we fire off conflict first before we IP, because currently right now the only thing we can IP in is a unicorn, and that's not the best because we have no discard fodder. But once we get Heat Soul, we can IP into that. We can IP into Heat Soul, and then Heat Soul will get us a draw. I'll still keep an inverted alive. But currently what I'm thinking is they activate anything, we hit them with a conflict, and then at the conflict we can use Masquerena and a Code Talker inverted to go into a Apollosa. And actually, we'll just go and use Albertian as well and give it 3 counters to make an Apollosa for 3. And then we can move this down. I guess we could zoom out a little bit. There we go. Going for that for 3. Then we also have Super Factorial, which of course we will bring out. There we go. These 3 will overlay and make our Lamplation. Lamplation's effect will activate, assuming that they have cards in the monster zone spell and trap cards on the hand. You'll at the bare minimum always detach 2, rip 2 cards, and then you have an Omnigate here. So then you have 5 interruptions, technically, right here speaking. Now the only problem with this now, guys, if you guys notice, our hand is kind of empty. So now we don't even have, we really can't, like, we're up to our top deck, which of course is going to be a Draw, Lockbird, or Ash Blossom. A Call by the Grave. That's not exactly what I thought, but not doing us anything. So then we're forced to kind of like hold the line here, which is not the best. I mean, like we still, as long as we don't, highly doubt that they would be able to play through or have enough cards to use Apollosa that many times. So technically we do have an Apollosa with some negates and a Lamplation that we can occasionally poke for 2,000 with. But yeah, so there we go. That's actually pretty cool. That is the anti-Nibiru play, or anti-hand trap play. All you need is, technically speaking, all you need is Diameter, Signet Mining, and a card to pitch, and you have the ability, a MathMech card per se, to pitch, and you have the ability to play through any hand trap whatsoever, which is really cool. So we'll go ahead and shuffle it up here and go on into our next test hand. Alright guys, here we go. We're going to do a quick cut and take the top 5 because we play remote duels now because my locals have finally decided to close off their tables. And yeah, here we go guys. Next test hand. Let's go ahead and draw our Microcoder, Ash Blossom, Droll, Multiplication, and Diameter. So this actually is a very good example of a brick. This is really, we really can't play with this. And the reason I say is because we opened the 2, we didn't open any extenders or anything like that. Trying to think here. We can normal, we don't, yeah, we actually have no way. These 2 cards are normal summon reliant, or they need to be sent out of the deck. The Draw and Lockbird, so coincidentally we could potentially hold them off with these 2 cards because these are power cards, and our next card we would draw would be Mining, which would be actually phenomenal. But we're not lasting until the Mining, highly doubtful. I mean, we do have Draw. If we pitch a Draw, then we're pretty good. And then if we hold the Ash to hit the Gamma, which they inevitably always have, we could then play that way. But just currently looking at this, we don't really have any way to even combo off. And that's because, again, we opened 2 of the worst cards. And like I said in the deck profile, if you even open with one of these bricks, as long as you have like any extender, you can combo off. But coincidentally, we didn't see any extender, so we're gonna go ahead and shuffle it up into the next hand. All right, guys, here we go. Test hand number 2. We'll go ahead and cut. Top 5 cards. Go ahead and do our thing. Am I right, guys? We'll draw Signet Mining, Nabla, Sigma, Ash Blossom, and Balancer Lord. So now, again, here we have the ability to do the anti-hand trap play just because we open Mining. So you go ahead and activate Mining. Of course, we're going to... We can send the Sigma to search for Diameter. Or even here, like if you wanted to, if you wanted to get greedy, you could search for Buffalo, normal, Buffalo, pitch the Nabla, draw 2 cards. Since I already kind of showed you guys the anti-Nibiru play, I might just do that instead. So we'll go ahead and search ourselves Buffalo, and we'll go ahead and normal summon here, additional normal here. We'll go ahead and use Sigma here as well, just to go ahead and get it out so we have that extra body on field. Now, like I said, doing it this route, you're just being greedy. You're going to fall right into a hand trap probably, whereas the other route would at least get you a Omni Negate to protect yourself. So we'll then go ahead and link here into Link Disciple, wherever it may be. There it is. Triggering Buffalo's effect, discarding the Nabla to draw 2 cards, drawn into a Diameter, and a Parallel to Exceed, which is really good. We'll then link here into Link Devotee. Of course, Devotee triggers, restricting you to only be able to summon what is it? Restricts you only to summoning Link 3 or Link 2 or lower Link monsters. Now, actually, guys, take note. We won't do the Sigma, simply because now that we're restricted to Cyberse monsters, and I want to show you guys a combo, or show you guys a string here where now that I'm seeing what we drew and everything. Never mind, that's not really too fair. What you can do now that we're locked into only Cyberse, because we use Sigma, since we have Parallel Exceed, we'd be able to make Broload Savage in this hand, so it is what it is. I will tribute this with Link Disciple to draw a card. We put back a card. We're not even going to keep the Buffalo that we drew, and that's going to give us our 2 tokens. So as you guys can see, the combo is very linear in the sense of like the starting aspect of it. We're just going to go make ourselves Wicked Kid. Link here. Ooh, so on the summon of Wicked Kid, we can go here, special, chain 2-1. We'll go ahead and summon here. Wicked Kid's effect will banish this to search Nabla itself, and then Nabla will summon itself. And we'll summon itself here. Now again, like I was just saying, we would have the ability to make Broload Savage if we didn't use the Sigma's effect earlier because we were being some chicken wankers. And but now what we can do is we can do this here. We can tribute the token to summon out Diameter. And then you can overlay here for Albertian. Detach the 2 to grab ourselves Super Factorial. And then you can turn these 2 into an IP. The Nabla can link down into a Ling. And then we have the ability to set Super Factorial. And there we go. So during the opponent's turn, we have the ability to protect ourselves from impermanence from the Masquerena. And we can use this, this, and this if we so wish to go into a link here, which will trigger the Wicked Kid. If we make, I think it's, let's see, if it wants to, yeah, so like we could tag into Apollosa, get a search here, which would be pretty pretty bomb actually. So then we also have Sorbu Factorial, which of course right now currently I don't have the space, but that's where you just use the IP, tag these 3 here, and maybe you're forced to use the YuGiOh. Maybe you just choose not to. Maybe they activate in perm. You just go ahead and chain the Masquerena, linking these off into your link for a choice, which of course right now currently is going to be my Apollosa. So we'll get Apollosa with 1, 2, 3. Apollosa for 3. We then are triggering the Wicked Kid. We'll banish a Cyverse monster, which will just banish the Buffalo. We could grab ourselves a extender, such as Subtraction, because now that we're going to be going into an opponent's board, we need to be able to reduce their attack and everything. Here we go. And then we can fire off Super Factorial, which would then bring out here, here. It has to be different names, so it has to be the Sigma. Overlay here for Lamplation. Lamplation effect, you're always going to at least detach 2. And then, bam. You have rip 2 cards, you have the Omni Negate, so there's, again, guys, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4, and then the ash in your hand is 5. And then we have a draw for next turn, which is going to be Microcoder, which will then allow us to get a search for our Silent Conflict to have like a follow-up on the next turn for additional, like if we can't put on the damage. But something to very much interest about Diameter here is Diameter says, if this card is null summon, target 1, blah, 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 but it cannot activate its effects. So actually, maybe it's another card I'm thinking of that negates. I think it's Splash Magician, actually. Splash Magician says, but negate, yeah. But its effects also, you cannot, for the rest of this turn, negate its effects. Okay, so Splash Mage allows you to summon it out, and then since it doesn't, you says you can't activate like Diameter does, you can still activate cards like Nabla and Tribute cards, which of course will clip the Wicked Kid. But in this case, Diameter just says you cannot activate, so you can't do it. But then, guys, on the following turn, we can just normal summon the Diameter, right? Diameter will then special out Sigma, but it cannot activate its effect. That's okay, because its effect should not be treated as a non-tuner, as, you know, it's not activating. We can use Subtraction, and then we can actually hard make Final Sigma here. But since we make Final Sigma here, it only does double battle damage. It's not unaffected by anything. So if you truly wanted to, you could also make Magma, which is, you know, pretty cool in its own sense. You couldn't make Savage because all these are tuners in our graveyard, and so all the tuners we have. So you'd have to make Magma, and then like you could still do that way, and then you're gonna destroy cards that way. Or like I said, you could make Final Sigma, which, I mean, Final Sigma would be a big powerhouse right here to be able to bash through anything. So yeah, let's just move on to the third and final test hand, guys. Alright guys, third and final test hand. We'll go ahead and do a quick cut. Top 5. And then we will see what the mathematic equation gives us here. So Division, already not looking good. Balance Lord, decent. Sigma, which is good. Equation, which is good. And Addition, which is really good. So now, let's see here. We can normal the Lord. Use Lord's effect. We can summon out Division. Go ahead and get Division to the graveyard, but I might want to keep Division. We'll see. But we can go ahead and do Sigma, normal summon the Sigma, just so like we can play around. I think this hand we're going to be able to put up Borreload Savage, so that'll be kind of cool to show you guys that. We'll link here into Link Disciple, link here. One thing I really like about this entire combo is that you get to like draw a card and put back a bad card. So Link Devotee activates its effect. You tribute this, which of course will then let you draw a card. We draw Conflict, which in this case is not really too good. I mean, potentially we could keep it, but we're not going to because we have Balance Lord, so we'll put it back. And then we get 2 tokens. You then turn 1 token and link here into your Cyverse Wicked Kid, and then you go here for your Lean Karibo. Once this goes here, triggering the Wicked Kid, you banish the Balancer Lord, which will then grab you Nabla. So, Balance Lord special summon right here. And this, yeah, see, so this is where Maybe we should have kept, we could have put division back, just summoned out the division through this, tribute this, and then gone that route. But that's okay, that's okay. We're going to be able to do it still. Navla, tribute the Wicked Kid to summon out. We need to grab Diameter. Do we? No, we don't need to grab Diameter. Man, this is difficult. Because we have to grab... How are we going to get access to Diameter later on? Because right now I have a tuner. Wow, I almost have to do it. If I want to get Savage on field, I have to summon out a non-tuner. And then I can synchro into Savage. Yeah, so they're non-tuner. But is that still the correct? No, wait a minute here. I see. Let's go back. Retrace our steps. This is all part about testing now. So we'll end up summoning out Diameter. With this. We'll then overlay here for Albertian. Detach the 2. We then are able to get ourselves Super Factorial. We then use Albertian's effect. We can tribute itself to summon from our hand Division. Division effect. Tribute the Wicked Kid. And the Wicked Kid will summon from the graveyard Nabla and from our hand Addition. There we go. We then can take Nabla and Division. And since we haven't used any Cyberse effect, we go into Savage. Put Savage here. Savage will then equip the Wicked Kid. And then we can then use Sigma's effect to summon itself because we don't control monsters. Now we're locked into Cyberse. We can then use these two to make... Now see, we could even go as far as making Splash Mage. Is that what we want to... So like we can overextend here pretty well. We can make Splash Mage, bring back Addition, Equation back out. This is banished. Equation back out Nabla to make IP here, and then we have the ability to tag into a oh goodness, Apollosa, or we can just make Apollosa and hold the equation. So I guess it really depends on like how greedy you want to get, but I think the best play is to hold equation. So instead of doing that route, I think that maybe we should, this is my X deck, we should not make that. We should just go ahead and link into here. The Masquerena. And this can fit here. There we go. And then again, now guys, like I said, like you can set Super Factorial. And then probably the first thing you're gonna want to do is use Super Factorial to bring out Nabla, Addition, Diameter. And then you're going to be able to go here for this. Always going to be able to at least detach 2. Rip a card from their hand and field, whether it be front row, back row. And then you just have the ability to Omni Negate anything. Omni Negate, Trap Negate. IP can tag this into a Unicorn and spin something because you have the additional card in your hand, which is not super optimal. But the best optimal play would be to go ahead and negate with Laplation and then use these 4 to make Apollosa. And then you have Apollosa plus Savage with another negate, and you still have Equation, which then you can start making plays that way by making like Magma or Final Sigma, depending on that there. But yeah, so we'll just go ahead and say we assumed we negated with Laplation, and we haven't had the ability to use Linkuriboh, so then we'll just synchro or link these off into, and this is, again, this is why I think that you need to play Avramax, because it is technically a Cyberse, which would then allow us to, we'll draw for turn, microcard, which would allow us to use Equation, right, to bring back the Nabla. And see, Nabla here says tribute 1 Cyberse monster. So we bring back Nabla, we can't tribute out the Bow of the Goddess. So that's definitely upsetting, and that's why I think you should always play that's why I think you should play Avramax over the Apollosa. So then like this card's always live to tribute on this follow-up, because now we could tribute this, summon Multiplication, go into Final Sigma, and then push for potential game. But because we have Apollosa, is not too good. So I think after this video here, I'm going to move this and change this into a Avermax. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember if you enjoyed this video to give it a like and a subscribe. If you are a MathMech veteran, comment down below what I could have done different. And if you guys are new to the deck, feel free to ask any questions. This is Charles from Team COG signing out.